to the series on project development with Node.js. I'm Sanket Singh, and in this video, we are going to continue our discussion on the service implementations for all the models that we have created. So if you will carefully see, apart from order.js, for restaurant and food, it's gonna be mostly a basic CRUD, right? We don't need to have a lot of logic. So instead of making two separate services, this time we are going to take a separate path. What we can do is we can make a common service. So let me make a new folder, services, and let's say I'll make a common service, new file, CRUD service.js. Right. This CRUD service is going to have all the functionalities that we are going to require, and it is going to take the corresponding model as the parameter and just automatically change the things there. So let's say, first of all, module.exports, an object. Let's keep it here. We need four functions. The first function that we need is const create. This is expected to be an asynchronous function, right? And it is going to take the model and it is going to take the data, right? And then what we can do is try catch error console.log error. Okay, then here we can say the const response is equals to await new model, and we'll pass the data and we'll do dot save. At last we'll say return response, right? So this create function is there, so let's just copy and paste it here. Then we can have another function, const destroy async model comma id. Based on the id we are going to delete something. So try catch console.log error, right? And then we'll say const response is equals to await model dot find by id and delete, and we'll pass the id, and then we'll say return response. Then we'll say const, let's pass destroy here also. We'll say const update async, this is model comma the update that we want to do on an id, and the data will pass to the corresponding update. Again try catch, and we'll say console.log error. I will say const response is equals to await model dot find by id and update, pass the id, and we'll pass the data, and we'll return response. Okay, and to read const get all is equals to async model. We'll say again try catch, we'll pass the error and say console.log error. Okay, and we'll say const response is equals to await model.find return response. Okay, I believe for all the restaurants and food we should have this thing. This should be good, right? This should be good. And let's add one more, or for the timing let's keep it like this. These are like common functions, right? We can have them here, update and get all. Okay, Now what we can do is we can go to the controller. We can make new controllers. That is, let's say food controller .js. We can make a new file. Restaurant controller.js. Okay. We'll say const crud is equals to require services slash crud service module.exports. Okay. And same thing here for food controller as well. Now we'll pass few functions. So let's say const create is equals to async request comma response. This will be the create function. Let's bind it with a try catch. Console.log error. Okay. And then let's copy this. Destroy. Right. For the timing, we can make only two controllers for food to create and destroy. I believe that should be good. Right. And we can say, let's get the model also. Const food is equals to require models slash food. Okay. And then what we can say is, let's do create destroy. For creating, we can say, let's do also one thing. Res dot status 500 dot json message something went wrong.
रात भर नहीं नींद है तुमको क्या लग रहा है
Success.
छुआ दिन भर
Okay. And
तो हम सो रहे
let's
थे
copy this here also.
तो आँखों नहीं खोलेंगे उसका मतलब नहीं जागल रहेंगे
And here what we can say is const food is equals to await crud dot create. Right. We'll pass the model as food model and request dot body as the data. Right. This should be good, I believe. Let's just quickly check. Yeah, this should be good. And then we can say return res dot status 200 dot json. I would say message successfully added new food item and success is true
पीछे बैठना है
and data is food. I believe this should be good. And let's go for delete also. Destroy food request dot params dot id. Okay, let's see. Now when we are creating food, this is the food, right? For every food, the moment we create a food, we need to associate it with the restaurant also, right? The moment we create a food, we need to associate it with the restaurant also. Currently we have not done that, so we'll do it, but first of all, let's just copy all of this. So this is gonna be common for restaurant also. Let's technically, in fact, copy everything, paste everything, and here instead of food, let's get another model slash restaurant
दिसंबर में
and just pass restaurant here.
जनवरी से उद्घाटन करना तुम करना
भेड़े के देख के ढनस के पछतावा लागिले
And here also
इस साल में कमाबे मने 20-25 हजार का
Okay, so the basic CRUD for restaurant and food is ready, to be very honest. Now for food, we need to do few more things. The moment we are able to create the food, we should fetch the restaurant. We should fetch the restaurant, and then inside the restaurant's food item, we should add it. So we need one more CRUD service function. Const
भात कधी पान बाबू
get by ID
दीपात हो मनी बुझ
is equals to asynchronous
चार थी कहीं होगा
model comma ID,
हम भूंज लेंगे ना बाद में.
right?
हमें बोझ भी
And this should be easy. Paste everything here. Instead of doing
खाएंगे
model dot find by ID, and we'll pass the ID.
अभी नहीं.
Okay, and let's say get by ID. So what we can do here is, let's get the restaurant model also, and then we can say const restaurant is equals to await CRUD dot get by ID. We'll pass restaurant comma request dot body dot restaurant. Okay, that which restaurant we want to add the food item to. The moment we get the restaurant, just a second. So the moment we get a restaurant, we can say restaurant dot what's the parameter, food dot push food. Okay, this is something that we can do. And let's do one more thing. In the restaurant controller, let's add a custom function, const get all food items is equals to asynchronous request comma response. Okay, this time we can use CRUD dot get by ID. And okay, so technically we cannot directly do CRUD dot get by ID because we need one more thing. I want restaurant. When I say get all food items for a restaurant, I need to also populate the food items there, right? So let's do one thing. Let's not directly use it. Let's do restaurant dot get, or let's say find by ID, request dot params dot ID, and let's say dot populate food. This should be good, right? Let's return get all food items. For food controller, yes, I believe this should be good. Now let's just go to the routes, v1 routes. Let's const controller is equals to require food controller, and const restaurant controller is equals to require restaurant controller. And then we can say router dot post slash food is food controller dot create, and router dot delete slash food slash colon ID comma food controller dot destroy. Now there is one small catch. When we are going to delete a food, we cannot just directly delete a food, right? We cannot just directly delete a food. because in order to delete the food, we need to delete it from the, I would say, food model also, and I would say we need to delete it from the restaurant menu as well. So some restaurant will also be passed, right? So we'll say const restaurant is equals to await crud dot get by id restaurant request dot params dot restaurant id, and then we can say so let's see what we have to do is we need to go to all the food items and then remove something, right? So what we can do here is we'll say restaurant dot food dot for each, right? And then we'll pass a callback function here, right? And then what we can say is item index. Let's do one thing. Object, which we can also pass object. Okay, and then we can say if this should be food item. Food item dot id is equals to request dot params dot id. We'll say object dot splice index comma 1, right? This should do the things, right? And then we will also destroy the food and things should be there. Now let's just go back to index. Let's copy, paste, restaurant controller dot create, and restaurant controller dot this, and get food, all food items is also something that we want. So let's do one thing. We'll say router dot get /:id, and this should be restaurant controller dot get all food items. Right, so we saved a lot of service method, you can see in this implementation, because we just implemented one CRUD service and there was one custom logic that we added here, right? We can also like have a separate restaurant service also that will get only the core restaurant features, but that segregation you can do on your own, right? Now let's just do one thing. Let's just quickly restart the server. Okay, so I guess there's a very small mistake. It should be model.export.
Next. उतरो तो
Okay, so server started successfully.
उतरो ना बता
Now what we can do is,
खोलो 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 जल्दी
let's just
खोलो ना
add
काम
a
बता रहे हैं उतरो
restaurant.
जल्दी उतरो जल्दी उतरेगा तब ना मेरा बैग में टिफिन है उसको मारे के पास पहुंचा दो
Post request, and let's say what are the parameters that we need? Name, and that's it. Name and that's it. So let's say name ABC restaurant. If you send it, okay, so ABC restaurant created. Let's make another restaurant, DEF. Send, done. And if you refresh, so here you have restaurants. So this food is an array. Currently this should be empty. This on both of these, this food collection is also empty. Okay, now let's add a food item. Right, let's add a food item. So slash food. Okay, v1 slash food, I guess. Okay. In the food item, we'll pass the name and price first of all. So let's say paneer, and the price is, let's say, 200. Right, and then one more thing we need to pass. So let's just come to the food controller. It will expect the restaurant ID as well. So let's take ABC and add it here, and if you send it, okay, technically it should add it. So if you go to foods, see, paneer has been added, and if you go to restaurants, okay, so we are not having anything here. Let's see. Let's say console.log restaurant. Okay, and let's do this. Send it. Okay.
मैं काट के ही
Eat both the food items. Okay, let's go back to the server, and then let's add it here. We added a new food item. Refresh. Food item is here. If you go to restaurants, see, there is this new object ID. This is 780C. This is 780C. And if you add one more, restaurants, food item, there are two of these. Okay, so we are able to add few things in the restaurant. So let's just quickly add few more. Okay, cool. Now let's just try one more to delete a food item. So we just need to pass a restaurant ID, and we need to pass the food ID also, and that should be in params. So let's just take it from here, and how the routes are expected. First of all, okay, here you should also have, sorry, restaurant ID. Right, and now what we can do here is, first of all, let's get a food ID. Let's get this food ID slash food slash this slash, let's get the restaurant ID. Right, okay, looks like good request, and like delete. If you send it, okay, it says successfully deleted this. If you go to foods, there should be only 3 food items. Yes, there are only 3. If you go to restaurant, see, only 3 food items, 814, 810, ATC. 814, 810, ATC. Right, So we are able to successfully add food items, we are able to successfully add restaurants and most other things around this. So let's just quickly commit this change. Let's do one small thing as well.
Hello. Hello, hapo बनाओ.
Let's avoid this console.log. Now
I kan to
git
काम
add
है
all,
जरा आए रहा लगन.
git commit -m, added
दिन
run
क्या है
service and
छोटा
food
काम
and
काम है किसा.
restaurant controller.
दो ही ले हाँ.
Okay, so in the further upcoming set of videos, we are going to set up how to place order. That is, the user is going to take up any food item and they are going to add it in their cart. There can be multiple, I would say, orders. There can be only one order which is in a placed, one order which is going to be in an ongoing situation that is going to actually display the cart. But rest of the orders that are placed or delivered, kind of a thing, they can have a status like that. So that being said, let's just wrap it up here. We are going to meet soon in the next video. Till then, take care, guys. Bye bye, and thank you.
हाँ.